So let's get right into it with Dark Souls. I want to kick us off with a story here about an experience I had earlier today, and I think it perfectly captures what is great about the game. Okay, so a little bit of background. I've played for a total time of something like 9 hours after today now, and my character's level 18. I'm wielding a shield and a spear, and I'll talk about why I've chosen that setup a little bit later. We're going to kind of talk strategy and tips and stuff for some people later, but for now, that's all you really have to know. There's probably like maybe the third boss that you'll encounter. I'd been kind of plugging along, having a bit of a hard time just getting to this boss. I beat the first boss as most people did, and got through the second one okay. And then from there, it just seemed like a death march to this third boss. And I had been struggling and not really sure if I was putting my points into the right things, and was I leveling up the right area? Was I using the right weapons and that kind of stuff? And it just was getting fucking hard. So I got the strategy guide yesterday. I caved and got it, and that kind of helped set me on the right path a little bit. And I made it up to where this third boss is, and I got annihilated. Like, not even funny, like, hardly even stood a chance, annihilated. So I ground for a little while, and tried to level up some things, tried to reinforce some weapons and some gear a little bit. Annihilated again. But I was a little closer this time. So I go for my third attempt after, trying to upgrade my spear one more time and have another go at it. I'm like, okay, I'm at least starting to get the pattern to the boss, right? I'm understanding his moves and what to look for. Eventually, I'm going to topple this fucker. So I head up there, and I start doing really good. And I'm doing damage, and I've got this thing half dead. And I'm like, shit, I'm going to do it. This is going to be it. It's going to happen. And about the time I realize that he's half dead, that's about the time that another thing that's exactly like him joins the fight. And now I'm fighting two of them. And all hope is lost. I'm just so defeated and like, oh, fuck, And it's really tough because when there's two of them, they start doing like an area of effect attack that kind of, it's hard to get away from. You know what I'm talking about?
And the problem is once you start, if you block it, then you can block most of the damage initially.
Right.
But it'll set you off balance and then burn you.
Right.
So it's kind of bullshit.
It's hard. So I get killed. And I start going online for tips and stuff, and it's about that time that I find out that the bell that you hear ringing, because this is taking place at the top of like a bell tower, right? And your objective is to kill this thing and then go ring the bell at the top. Well, I'd been hearing this bell ringing like maybe 2 or 3 times in the game up to this point, and I wondered what it was. I just thought it was background noise maybe. Well, I find out it's other people out there in the Dark Souls universe killing that boss and ringing that fucking bell. Like, every time someone kills that boss and rings that bell, everyone else in that area hears it. Yeah, everyone hears it. So from then on, I'm like, all right. It like just after I got killed, I was like, fuck, there's 2 of them. I was kind of down and out, but I learned this information, and I load the game back up again. And right away, as soon as I start playing, I'm not like 2 minutes into my retry, and the bell rings, and I'm just like, someone just did it. Someone out there fucking did it. I can do this. So I grind up a little bit more. I reinforce my weapon one more time. I get an item that lights my weapon on fire. I head up there with a purpose. And like, seriously, no joke, I'm climbing the stairs, getting close to the area where you go into the boss fight, and the bell rings again. And I'm like, yes! Someone else did it. I can do this. I'm getting charged. Then I notice that there's a summon sign on the floor. So I'm like, hey, I can maybe get someone to come in and help me in this. So I do it, and someone enters the game, and they're really impressive. Because there's actually a few, like, elite guards in the area. And while I can outclass those things usually without too much trouble, this guy was one-shotting them.
I can one-shot them too.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I was impressed when I saw it. I was like, damn, this guy's the man. So we head up there, and just before the boss, there's actually another summon sign there from one of the NPCs that I've rescued, and I summon him, and he comes to help too. So the three of us venture forward for another attempt at the boss. I light my weapon on fire, we head through the door, the fight is on. So we're doing really good. We're killing the shit out of the first thing, and then the second thing comes and joins, and me and the other real player take one of them, and the NPC goes and takes the other, and we're split. Well, dude that joined me, as impressive as he was, he gets toasted, and he's vanquished. He's out of the fight, so now it's 2-on-2. But I've got this thing almost dead, and that other guy helped quite a bit. He didn't have the mobility to get out of the way of stuff, right? So I was really bummed when he was gone, too. I was like, oh, I'm going to do this, and then I told myself, as soon as I kill this thing, I'm sending that guy a message, and I'm thanking him for his help, and I'm telling him we did it, Sure enough, I get this thing dead, and then me and the NPC gang up on the remaining one, and we kill that thing, too. And as those things are, like, dying and letting out their death gurgles and everything, I'm, like, so elated. I stand up off my couch, and I pump my fist in the air, and I'm like, yes! Yes! I'm, like, crying out. I'm so happy that I got this, this first boss killed. And then I just, the NPC kind of walks off, and, his job is done. He'll see me later down the road. And I'm just there on the rooftops now with the sun setting in the background, the clouds kind of hanging in the air, and it's just serene and quiet, and it's like this opportunity to just sit up there and kind of reflect for a little bit on everything that I'd been through and what I finally accomplished, So with like a purposeful stride now, I head to the ladder that's going to take me to that bell. And I get up there, and I just think, somewhere out there, there's somebody toiling and struggling like I was, and I want them to hear this, and I hope that they know what it means, and I hope it gives them hope like it gave me. I pull that lever, and I ring that fucking bell, and it's just like, fuck yes. This is like one of the greatest moments I've ever experienced in gaming.